I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to yet another player review. I haven't really done any of these. I might do one or two more, but to be honest, with a brand new team of the season arriving this evening, I'm probably going to do that, and I may fit in one or two. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll, name the player, and I'll get it done. I think Amrabat and Giovinco, realistically, are the only two that I'm even remotely interested in. I've gone out and done this Hamdallah because he's one of those sort of, I don't know, on paper he looks really good, but in principle, is he going to be that great? That's the question. I got really frustrated actually, I had to stop, otherwise this would have been out sooner. Luckily, I got Heung-min Son yesterday, so I did that review instead, and I think people would want to see that a little bit more, but I got annoyed at the game. The gameplay was absolutely horrendous when I was recording this on Wednesday evening. I think it was everyone trying to get the extra rank to get better packs, either for the brand new team of the season or just to have one last stab at the Premier League. But either way, Hamdallah with 3-star, 3-star, medium-low work rates, average body type. He's 6 foot, but I mean, height-wise, I don't think he really feels like 6 foot. I think he feels a little bit shorter than that. He does have sort of like a stocky feel to him almost, but he doesn't feel anywhere near as tall as that 6 foot suggests. His stats are really good across the board. I mean, this guy is well under 100k. He's between sort of 85 and 90, thereabouts, as I'm recording this. And I am recording this sort of Thursday evening, so whether EA have released an SBC at 6 o'clock yesterday that changed it, I'm not sure, because it's about 5:30 for me now, so I don't know what they've released just yet. But with that being said, 93 acceleration, 92 sprint speed. Finishing on paper is insane. 99 positioning, again 99, really good. 93 shot power is really nice. Long shots are lacking, and I can tell you now before we get into anything that, I mean, yeah, they just are lacking. Not the best of long shots. Does get a couple of decent efforts away, but not the best long shots in the game. 94 ball control, 93 reactions with 96 agility. Quite nice across the board. Composure's good as well. Dribbling only 88 with 87 balance. I'm not bothered about the balance, but the dribbling for a team of the season card that is 92 rated, 88 dribbling is quite low, so we're definitely going to need to improve that. Good heading, not that we can ever get headers away, and of course 99 stamina with 91 strength, 94 jumping, not bad at all really. So I mean, in general, on paper, you've got a really good card. He's a 94 rated striker without a chem style. Now in terms of the chem style, I genuinely didn't know what to do, and I don't really know if I've made my mind up now, to be honest. I mean, I sort of looked at quite a few things. Marksman is a good shout because you bump up that shot power, you get the long shots up by 10, you improve the strength up to 96, he turns into a 97 rated striker. The engine isn't a bad thing to do because you've already got 99 finishing, so you don't need to improve that, so you get a nice boost of pace. You also bump up that balance and the passing goes up slightly, and again he turns into a 97 rated player. You have an awful lot of option with regards to chem styles. I honestly do think something like a Maestro or an Engine is probably the way to go. A Maestro in particular will lift him up to a 98 rated striker, so definitely a lot of options, and I did bounce around between them. Like my first couple of games I used an Engine, then I switched into a Maestro. I think I've landed on Engine, to be fair. Maestro is good because it does give you a higher rated card, boosts the long shots, and so on, but the Engine just gives you that little bit extra in terms of mobility, and I think that's what he needs more than anything, is that balance boost and the pace boost. So with the Maestro, going into games, he did feel not heavy, like he did have some degree of pace and mobility about him, but with an Engine, you just get that little extra like grease on the wheels, if you will, he just feels that little bit better than without it, for example. Now, His finishing, let's get that out of the way first. His finishing is really good. Now, not 100% accurate. Having 99 finishing doesn't mean he's going to score everything that gets put in front of him. He will still miss the odd chance. And the evidence is there in the clips for you to see. He will still miss the odd one-on-one. And whether that comes down to the fact that he's naturally a 79 rated card. I've talked about this before. Cards that are lower rated, like your silvers going into your golds and your low rated golds going into like the stupid 92 rated team of the season cards, do they actually get boosted to the point where they feel that good? Because I mean, on paper he's only 3 ratings lower than Heung-min Son, and arguably he is better than Heung-min Son on paper with regards to his in-game stats in the striker position. And yet I used Heung-min Son as a striker, and I can tell you that he is leaps and bounds ahead of Hamdallah. Like, there is absolutely no comparison there whatsoever. He is so much better than him. But on paper, he isn't. So there has to be something there in the upgrade. It just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like he's a 92 rated card. He doesn't feel super agile. At times he can feel quite robotic, which doesn't really make an awful lot of sense. A lot of sense. English today has not been great for me. With the engine, because he's 99 agility, 97 balance, and 98 reactions with, again, 98 dribbling. That would suggest, and with 98 acceleration and 97 sprint speed, that would suggest that he would feel absolutely incredible on the ball. Not really, no, which is a little bit irritating, and I can't explain it away, unfortunately. So yeah, that's a thing. Now, this card is super cheap, not easy to fit into a team. You can link him with Amrabat, which is nice, but apart from that and maybe some icons, you are looking to bring him off the bench. Now, that's pretty much what I did. You probably would have seen it in the beginning where he's just on the bench, and you're probably thinking, hang on a minute, you didn't explain that. Well, let me go back and talk about that. I toyed with the idea of playing with him in a team starting 11, right? But on this account that I'm using him, I don't have any icons. I've either given them away in SBCs for upgrade purposes, or I just haven't unlocked them. I don't really do an awful lot of objectives on this account. This is literally just FIFA points, open packs, get the players, review them, right? It's not a case of let's do this objective, that objective, okay? So bringing him off the bench was the only thing I could do. So in terms of the impact that he has as a super sub, it's okay. I mean, I was bringing him on early so I could get the sort of most use out of him, right? But I mean, sometimes I wasn't bringing him on till half time. Other times it was 20 minutes in. One time I completely forgot, and I was using Aubameyang Mahrez. I was having a lot of fun, and I was knocking it about quite well. And I completely forgot that I was there to do a Hamdallah review, so I forgot to bring him on until like the 70th. And then he came on, and to be fair, he had a fair sort of knockabout of the ball. I don't think he scored a goal in that game in particular, so you may not even see clips from it. But yeah, he came on, and he does make an impact, okay? So he's got pace, and he does feel quick. But when you're at pace and you're trying to change direction, not really his thing. And of course he only has 3-star skills, so you can't really do any sort of Magidi spin or any like Balassi flick or anything like that to change direction. You could get some sort of side to side heel flick or whatever, because I mean that's obviously a 3-star skill, so that could work. And it did often, really, but he doesn't burst out of the turn too quickly because, again, it's something to do with that mobility. I really don't understand it, but yeah, side-to-side heel flick, he just doesn't get going. I really don't get it, because on paper he really should feel a lot better than he does, and he just doesn't. That's the biggest con, I guess. That's the biggest concern, the biggest negative about the card, is he's not as mobile as you would think he would be. And honestly, that's the only negative I can say about him. I mean, yeah, it would be nice to have 4-star skills and a better weak foot. The weak foot is irritating, that's for damn sure. But the biggest thing, the overriding thing, was that he just didn't feel mobile. And that we've been talking about that for nearly the best part of, 9 minutes? But it's true, and that is something that I need to get across to you. Just because on paper it looks like he's going to be super agile and quick, it doesn't actually come across that way, which is annoying. But more than makes up for it, really, in terms of finishing. If you don't try and run with him, and you literally use him as a poacher, then you are going to score an awful lot of goals with him. Depends on what formation you use, depends on how you play the game, of course, but if you literally just leave him there and tell him to get forward and get him behind and stay forward, you will have him in and around, because his positioning is really good as well. He is always in the right place at the right time. It's just when you give him the ball a little bit too far out, he doesn't really know what to do with it. And his passing is good. His passing is usable. I wouldn't say he's as good as anyone in the game, but his passing is definitely usable. So use him as some sort of goal-hanging, goal-threat poacher type player. Don't try and run with him too much, and yeah, you can score a lot of goals with him. Should you go out and get this guy? Not unless you're a fan of him in general, the team he plays for, or in fact the nation he's from. Or maybe if you want to have a little bit of, I don't know, experimentation, then sure. But in terms of just a pure, should I get this guy as my new super sub? Probably not, to be fair. No, there probably are better players out there than him. And I will take a look at Giovinco and Amrabat at some point over the weekend, I'm sure. I just had a lot more team of the season from the Premier League to review than I thought I would be able to. So there we go. Let me know if you've used him and what you thought of him in the comments. Hopefully, in a way, you don't have the same trouble as I do. But at the same time, I would kind of like to see what people think of the mobility of this card in the comments. If you have enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.